Hello and welcome to CCNC News. I am your reporter, Marcus. Just Marcus. I guess I have a last name, but you gotta look into that. Just Marcus. And today on this hopefully to be a reoccurring series, we're going to be diving into some amazing news for Nickelodeon fans or cartoon fans in general. And as we get into that, I want to thank our sponsors for being able to bring us this report today, right here, who is also the owner and CEO of this corporation and news network. And also brought to you by me at 2 a.m. I can't sleep, and I guess this is what I choose to talk about. But with that out the way, let's get into this. And first in the news, there's nothing in this cup. I just wanted to look professional, but like realistically, there's nothing in there. There's nothing on these papers. I'm just gonna get into it. So what are we gonna be talking about today is a brand new Nickelodeon hotel, and I can't believe that it's actually happening. And not just that it's happening, it is happening only less than like an hour away from where I currently live, and that is in Garden Grove, California, and it is going to be huge. But to explain a little bit, this was reported on like 3 years ago. They got confirmation that it was gonna happen, but articles from Spectrum News, Orange County Register, and all types of places reported on it about 4 or 5 months ago. But I haven't seen that many people talk about it, and not just that, I haven't seen anybody break it down fully, especially not as a Nickelodeon fan. I already know, if you are new to this channel, we do a lot of Nickelodeon and cartoon related stuff. I know we're gonna be doing so many videos when this place opens up. So today, we're gonna be talking about this place and what we know about it so far. We're gonna be using reference images throughout this entire video, and some are going to be from the other existing Nickelodeon hotels, some in the past and some currently. But this one that we're talking about today, being in California, again, Bell Garden, only an hour away from me, is amazing because we have not had a Nickelodeon hotel since the family suites that existed back in the day. I'm sure many of you guys remember all the different ads they had in Nicktoons magazines, they had on TV, they had the ads everywhere if you were a kid in the late 2000s. But they closed that one down in 2016. So now the only existing Nickelodeon hotels, one lies in the Dominican Republic and the other one is in Mexico. All being not so far in one case, but not very convenient for sure. It's huge that we're gonna be having one right here in the US. And like I said, it's gonna be amazing. So Ryan's gonna bring up on screen what the simulated 3D model image of what this place is gonna look like. And like I said, I'm gonna go through all the different features, details, benefits, activities that you can do at this place. But already just look at this thing. It looks amazing. It looks so luxurious. And not just that, there's a lot of little details I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give you my opinion on it, but not just that. I'm going to break down some of the pros and cons I can see of this design, but not just that. Maybe show off a couple little Easter eggs the Nickelodeon might have thrown in for us. So this mammoth of a hotel is going to be 23 stories, and not just that, have 500 rooms. But being 23 stories and having only 500 rooms, I think that means that the rooms are not only gonna be probably pretty awesome based off the look of the hotel, but also pretty sizable. And if we look back at previous Nickelodeon hotels, they were pretty awesome with some of their designs. Especially the Spongebob one. That wallpaper was working it, but those bed sheets, those were old even into the 2000s. I don't know where they came up with those bed sheets. But besides that, look at the ones in Mexico and also the Dominican Republic. Those rooms are beautiful and so modern. I'm sure that's what they're gonna bring over to California. Let's move on from that. It's gonna have a 600 seat theater, which means we're gonna be able to see some character shows that they've already talked about.
Quiet! Stop rocking and rolling this instant!
With different characters interacting, and not just that, maybe we'll even be able to see some Nickelodeon movies in the theater again for the first time in decades. It's gonna have a kids lounge with all types of activities for kids to do, a meeting space for if you want to have business meetings. I want to be a part of any business meeting instead of Nickelodeon hotel. That's where our business meetings are for sure. A pool, which is, if you guys zoom in, it has a very specific theme that I'm very, very, very much looking out for. And it's supposed to have a 7,200 square foot arcade, which is like bigger than a house. And spa, fitness, whatever that stuff is. And then also 500 parking spaces. So you cannot bring a single friend. If you do the amount of rooms to parking spaces, somebody's parking on the street. But besides that, they're gonna be having a studio hall, which is gonna be themed around cartoon and video production. And it's basically gonna be a Nickelodeon museum with all types of sculptures. If you've seen some of the sculptures they have in the Nickelodeon Hotel in Puerto Cana, in Mexico, or also in the Nickelodeon studios, their sculptures can be absolutely incredible. I love them so much, so I already know that we're gonna be doing videos dedicated off different sections of this hotel because it's gonna be so accessible to us. But not just that, they're gonna be having a special Nickelodeon Nickelodeon themed restaurant at the top of the resort called the Odeon that is for sure going to be filled with a bunch of Nickelodeon themed foods. And I'm sure those menus are also going to rotate out, and we'll be doing so many videos going over there and trying out whatever new Spongebob or other cartoon related food slash drink they have available. Okay, and we're going to do an overview of the actual structure itself so you guys can see all the little details that I talked about. But I've been doing a little Lloyd top-rated hacker research, and I also found out that the city couldn't have been more happy about Nickelodeon building this hotel. The council in the area took a vote. Out of 6 council members, 6 out of 6 agreed that this would be an awesome idea for them to put it in Garden Grove. And not just that, the land where they're building it was currently owned by the city and is worth about $10 million. But supposedly they sold it to Nickelodeon for around $1 million, which may sound like a lot of money, but if you look at one of the houses on the same street as they're building this hotel, it's only about $200,000 less than what they got for land to build an entire hotel. But which brings up an interesting point also, is it's kind of built like right on a street. It's so close to residential. These, like right here, you'll see where they're building it. There's a lot of land where they're building it. And we're turning the camera and there's houses right there. That's houses. Like people live there. You know, so I don't know like how far in or how far back they're going to be using this lot of land. But either way, it's kind of an interesting spot they found. And if you look on the other side, there is a main street. So I'm sure they're going to just build like a wall or something like that there. But before we move on to our special feature at the end of this video, so stick around, let's get into this segment of Nerdy Details. So if we look at the 3D model, we can see that the outside whole pool area is themed after SpongeBob. Let's just talk about that first off because it's so obvious and the biggest thing you see. You can see that front entrance right there on the main street I was speaking of, along with another side entrance over there on the right side, it looks like. You'll also see that the whole hotel is built on a base, and that seems to be which would probably be the parking lot, which contains those 500 parking spaces. But on top of that, right by the roadside displayed is a Nickelodeon logo right in front of the building, which looks really cool. But not just that, like you can already imagine all the people that are gonna like sit on the letters, take different types of photos. But diving into that SpongeBob pool setup, let's talk about the small little details. We can see one of the Bikini Bottom style buildings over there, which is reminiscent of a car muffler, as many of us know. There is some kind of blue bubble like portal, and then of course you have SpongeBob's beautiful pineapple house in which he lives in under the sea. But on the far left, we have Mr. Krabs and the Sea Needle, which is a very famous location from SpongeBob. And after that, like I said, we have some of those balconies. I think depending on what type of room you get, you know, some of these balconies are spaced out based off of like, oh, okay, this room gets a certain balcony. This room is maybe really big, but it has one little balcony here. They're all spaced out based on prices, assuredly. And on top, you'll see there's a Nickelodeon logo that you'll probably be able to see from a long way going down the street. And it has a very awesome, modern, reflective look to it. You know, nothing like the old boys they got over here. But now with the nerdy details out of the way, we have one last thing to do, and that is to get a good shot of what is going on location. So I'm going to segue over to our on-street reporter, Mitch Mitchelson. Yes, his name's in there twice.
All right, this is Mitch Mitchelson here. We are here on site with the soon-to-be Nickelodeon Hotel. As you can see on the left here, well, it's just rocks. And well, on my right, you got a bunch of grass, and at least they put a couple light poles in, it looks like. But as you can tell, it's very barren. They're working on it, but we're gonna get you guys some shots of the landscape right now, and then we're gonna have to update you guys as they're working on the building. But right now, as you can tell, well, there's nothing. But don't you worry, we will be here to update you every step of the way.
Okay, so shout out to Mitchell for doing that little clip for us. He brought the mic from the SpongeBob karaoke machine. Mitchell's not always on camera, so make sure you guys show him some love. He's getting used to it as well. But we are actually standing currently where the Nickelodeon Hotel is gonna be built. You guys can see it is literally, as Mitchell said, it is just, well,
it's rocks.
It's just dirt. It's just dirt. There's just dirt everywhere, rocks. And then over here you have some grass and some foliage that is way overgrown, but they do have it fenced off right now. You guys can see this is the fence that's knocked over. But you know, we have a policy here, open door policy. If it's open, we're gonna come on in. If it's closed, then of course we're gonna keep out of it. But it is open, and you guys will see that that is the other hotel that's gonna be next to it. The main street is right over here on this side, so people are driving down the street all the time, going to Disneyland, going to Knott's, and that's gonna be where you enter, along with, you guys can see there's a gate down here, and that gate is gonna be where you are likely also gonna be able to enter into the hotel. So right now, again, we are standing where in 4 years time, where me and Mitchell are currently standing, there will be a structure, a building, a Nickelodeon hotel, which will honestly, who knows how many years, decades of history that this place will be here after they build it. And we're standing on it right now as enough. So it is gonna be so cool to see this place get updated. I'm gonna take advantage of walking around here a little bit. I mean, look at this beauty right here of all this dirt, everything that's here. There's only one thing that's surviving, and it's these little yellow flowers. And one could say this is a little precursor of our yellow friend that is gonna be here to resurrect this entire landscape. Very beautiful, almost poetic.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me out here, but we're gonna send you right back to the CCNC news studio.
Okay, so that is the news. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, let me know down below. This is the first ever episode of this series. So if you want us over here at CCNC News to cover any more topics, let me know. And we'll definitely have to do some in the future. Like I said, it's the first episode. So if you guys enjoyed, I would appreciate some feedback in the comments. And also, if you guys haven't already, go check us out on Whatnot, where you get $15 off your first purchase. And not just that, I do streams every Wednesday and Friday. But check out this video over here, guys. It's another video on this channel, so I'm sure you're gonna love it. I'll see you guys over there. And as always, Rat Pack, I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Adios.